All right, what's up, guys? Okay, so we're gonna talk about signing DTs tonight, and kind of go over that. I was gonna do like 30 minutes of talking to you and then 30 minutes of working, but I feel like I might talk a little bit more tonight just because we've had so many power hours that you guys can hop on of like working too. So if we have time at the end and like say I only talk for like 30 or 40 minutes, we're gonna go ahead and maybe like pre-write a post for tomorrow. But if not, then I'm just gonna keep talking to you guys. And if you have questions along the way, put them in the chat so I can answer them along the way. I know some of you messaged me questions earlier and now I'm gonna have to like go back to the text messages and look at them because I was totally off on my time tonight and thought that we had another hour until the Zoom. Anyways, okay, so before I get into like business posting and posting stuff, I kind of want to talk to you guys about a few things, okay? Because there's some other things that go into signing a distributor versus just throwing a post up on your social media, okay? So we're gonna get super real with ourselves tonight. You guys are gonna put some stuff in the chat. So I want to talk about discipline, okay? And I want you guys to tell me, like, are you comfortable where you're at now? Are you comfortable with the income? Put yes or no in the chat. Are you comfortable with the income that you have? Some of you might say yes, like maybe your husbands or your spouses, or maybe you like even make a great income right now. But you know, like we always want more money. Like, are you guys comfortable where you are at right now? No, no. Dude, I forgot a water. While you guys say yes or no, I'm gonna grab a water. Okay. Sorry, I'm a little shit show tonight. Anyways, okay, so no one's comfortable, okay? So are you ready to like rise up? Like, are you ready to get serious about a change? Like if you know, some of you are newer, but if you have been in this for, you know, a few months and maybe you haven't promoted, maybe you are just not at the rank that you want right now. Maybe your spouse is frustrated because, you know, you've been doing this for a while and they're like, where's this income you talked about making? Where, you know, like, why are we putting money into an auto ship every month? Or why are we spending money on this monthly website? Like, where is this income? You know, like maybe, like, I just want you to get real with yourself. Like, are you ready to rise up? Because you have full control over that, okay? It's not me that has the control over how much money you make every month. I can lead you guys. It's kind of like, you know, I can lead a horse to the water, but I can't make it drink, okay? So that part is on you guys. Your income is directly related to the work that you are putting in and like your belief that you have in yourself. So I just want you to realize, like, you know, everything that has happened, and even if you've been in this for like, you know, 2, 3, 4 months plus, or like longer than that, and you're not where you want to be right now, everything that's happened in the past last month, the past 6 months, past year, whatever, however long it's been in that you're not like where you want to be right now, that has nothing to do with where you can go starting now. You can literally turn into a mass enroller overnight. So don't look at what you like, you know, oh, I just had a really crappy month in January, didn't do any enrollments, or oh, I've been in for 3 months and it's haven't signed anyone yet. Obviously, I'm not cut out for this. Like, that doesn't matter, okay? I went fast when I came into this, but Katie, our ambassador Diamond, I don't think that she went Ruby for like her first couple months. Like, I don't think she even went Diamond until like 10 months in. And like, I think same for Brittany. I don't think that Brittany even went executive for 10 months in, and look at them now. They're presidential ambassador. So I want you to know, like, whatever you've been going through the past month, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months in your business has nothing to do with where you're going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, and 2 months from now. Nothing to do with that, okay? You set the tone for your own business and your own team and your own self and your own income. So where else was going to go with that? So, you know, like, okay, I want you guys to tell me in the chat also, if you're someone who, you know, maybe some of you are like, no, dude, my enrollments have been great lately. Like, I'm feeling great. We're just on team chat tonight. But like, some of you I know are kind of feeling like your enrollments aren't where you want them to be. And put it in the chat. Like, if your enrollments aren't where you want them to be, and this isn't me like yelling at you guys by any means. I'm not like lecturing you. I'm just trying to get you to think, okay? So if they're not where you want it to be, tell me in the chat, are you doing everything that you can? Are you getting on to the power hours, everyone, like when possible, you know, around your schedule that you can get onto them? Are you, you know, searching all over the team page and like reading everything that you can about, you know, signing customers or signing distributors? Or are you, you know, watching a new YouTube video or 2 or 3 daily until you master this? Like, are you doing those things? Or are you sitting there accepting the fact that you're like, I'm not enrolling, you know, I was going to go Ruby this month, but it's not happening. Maybe I'll do that next month. Or, you know, maybe, you know, by May, I want to be Ruby. Like, are you giving yourself that huge long timeline to do things like that? Or are you like actively working and like really being real with yourself and like pushing to figure out what the problem is and why you're not enrolling? Could definitely be doing more than you are. So I'm trying not sitting around, definitely actively working. Okay, and it'll come, okay? So, and this isn't me trying to call you guys out. I just want you guys to realize, like in the beginning, it's very much discipline. And another thing that I'm gonna get into is like your belief. So when I joined and I went diamond in 3 months, literally what was it? To go Ruby, I'm trying to think right now, sorry. To go Ruby, it was 5 distributors in a month. I was charted for Ruby 11 days into my business. And that was just because I came in and my why was so big, okay? You always hear like your why needs to make you cry, but it really does, okay? Like, you know, you can sit there and say, oh, I want $1,000 extra a month. Well, why do you want that? I want that so I can start putting money on my credit card debt that I have. Well, why do you want to pay off your credit card debt? Because having that debt sucks, and my my credit number sucks, and it's very stressful, and I hate having to put $200 to $300 a month onto a credit card. Well, why do you want that extra money? Because that money could be going to my family instead. So I want you to, it's called the 7-layer rule, where it's like you ask yourself why you want something, and then you take in another step and you ask why off of that, and then you go again and you ask why, and you dig deeper, and then eventually you're going to get yourself crying, and then you're going to find that's your real reason. The reason that you want this isn't because you want $1,000 extra a month. The reason that you want this is something deeper, as in like you want to be able to be the yes mom that doesn't have to say no to their babies, that can walk into Target and like just feel no stress of like, oh, how much is that dress, $20? No, maybe we should go find the clearance. Like, you know, you can walk in and buy the things that you want to buy without even having to check the tag. You can, if you're not a mom, you know, maybe you want that freedom of just being able to buy a new car, and maybe your car sucks. Sorry if that's rude, but like maybe your car sucks and you are tired of the broke down car and you want a nice car and you just want nice things, or maybe you're wanting to move out of your parents' home. Like, you need to find what connects with you, because that is what's going to push you. Okay. When I joined, I had the craziest schedule. You guys all have heard it, but I'm going to repeat myself again. You know, college, mom life, single mom. And college was more than full time. It was like double time for college, just because that's what you had to take for the program I was in. And then just all the activities of like either me working or my girls having, not college, guys, I can't think tonight. So sorry. Should have had like more coffee or something. They had gymnastics and sports and things like that, you know, kids activities. So life was busy, and I could have, you know, used that as excuses of like, oh, you know, I'm busy, I can't do this, or not tonight, I'm tired. I woke up at 2:30 this morning so I could get to work at 4. And then I also had school. Now I don't want to stay up an extra half an hour. But no, I was so connected with my why. My why was because I wanted to stay home, because I became a mom at 19 and I hated that I was broke and I was on food stamps, and I felt like I did life backwards. And I'm going to get emotional. We're not getting emotional, right? And I was so fed up with like how we were, that I felt like life was just handed to you in a card. You got what you got. There was no other like way. You're kind of just, you're doing your thing. So like I became a mom at 19. And now I'm in college and a bikini barista, and I don't like my whole situation. And I'm living at my parents' house because now I can't even afford my own rent, because now I'm going to college. And I wanted nothing to do with that, okay? And I wanted nothing to do with that so bad that I desperately wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, and I desperately wanted to do what I saw Katie doing, where she was working from home and being with her babies, because my girls were always in daycare or always with a family member, and it sucked. Okay, so that I was so connected to that I could cry about it right now, just thinking about like how much I didn't want any of that. So you're why, you have to be that connected to it, because that's what's gonna make this fun. That's what's gonna make every single customer, you're like, hell yeah, I'm one step closer to my goal. Every single DT, you're like, I'm one step closer to diamond. I'm one step closer to that $15,000 bonus. I'm so excited about my business. I'm gonna stay up an hour late tonight. I'm gonna wake up 30 minutes later tomorrow, or earlier tomorrow. I'm gonna, you know, not watch the Netflix and not, you know, bullshit on my social media and like scroll, and I'm gonna work. Like when you are that connected to it, you work, and you work differently. And when you are so laser focused on your goal, it's like you don't have time to look left and to look right. And I know that I've caught myself doing that in my business before, where you look at other people who are moving and grooving and like they're promoting, and then you start feeling a certain type of way about your business. Like when you are, I know I'm talking fast. When you are so focused on what you want, and you don't care what other people have, because there's enough room for success for all of you. There's enough room for each of you to go diamond. It doesn't matter who's going diamond faster than you are. It doesn't stop you from getting what you want. Okay, so I want you guys to be so laser focused on what you want. Okay, and before I promoted to diamond, it's like I wanted it so bad that that was all I thought about. It wasn't just the fact of like the diamond title. It was not that. It was that what it would bring. Okay, it was the $10,000 bonus that I was going to earn and what that was going to do for me. It was, you know, staying home and being with my girls and what that was going to do for me. It was being able to quit my coffee stand job and what that was going to do for me. And I was so focused on that. Like I would daydream about that all the time. Okay, before you reach your promotion of ruby or emerald or diamond or double, you have to vision yourself doing that. You have to see yourself doing that. Okay, and it's funny because I didn't realize that was what I was doing at all when I first joined. I didn't realize any of the stuff that I'm teaching you right now. I was just running so fast. I was just like, I don't know, it's just happening. And so, but I would vision myself like what it felt like to go diamond, what it felt like to get that bonus, what it felt like to be home with my girls when I was at work. And because I visioned it so much, like literally when I went diamond, I already felt like a diamond leader. Like I was like, dude, I've been a diamond leader like 2 months ago. I just now got the title, but like I've been working like a diamond, so I already feel like a diamond. So it wasn't like it was like exciting and it was huge because I meant I gotta quit my job. But it's like you think about it so much and you like vision it that you just start to feel it. And so that's what you have to do. And especially even with like, you know, bring it down to a smaller scale with signing distributors, you have to see yourself as a mass enroller. You have to see yourself enrolling these distributors. You have to see yourself building this dream team and have confidence in yourself before you can start to do it. Because if you don't feel like you can do it, and if you're not working like you're going to do it, then you won't do it. Okay. And the same thing when I went double. When I went double, that was when I was finishing up chemo and the girls and I were living at my parents' house. And I did not want to live at my parents' house anymore. I wanted to then, obviously, in Washington State, it's very expensive. And off of $2,000 to $3,000 income, you cannot live like that. So I needed $5,000 to $6,000 income, double diamond. That was my new goal, was I'm going to go double because I want my own apartment. This apartment, okay? These are new and they've been like freshly built around like my neighborhood. Like we're the first people to live in this actual apartment. And I would seriously, like when this place was being built, I would come and like sit. I'm going to sound crazy right now, okay? But I would come sit like when they're like constructing everything, and I would like picture myself living here. And this was when my diamond chart had crumbled, okay? And I was just a ruby, but I wanted these apartments so badly. And I knew that when I went double, I was going to get these apartments. And I would just picture us living here. I knew what the floor plan looked like because I used to go to school for interior design and I'm super psycho about floor plans. And so I'm very picky. And so like I knew what the floor plan looked like. So in my head, I could picture us living in here in the way that I wanted to decorate and the way that I wanted things to happen. And for the longest time, I wasn't able to afford these apartments until I was working on going double, and they freaking dropped the price of these apartments. Okay, so the whole manifesting thing, side note, real, because these were super expensive. They dropped the price of these apartments. I hopped on them, and that was before I even went diamond. We moved in here in May. Before I went double, sorry. We moved in here in May. They had like taken like $500 off the rent for this apartment. And I was like, holy crap, okay, but I really got to go double because if not, I'm about to ask my parents for rent next month and that's not about to happen. And so then I went double because I was like, I have to have that $5,000 monthly income. So the first month that we moved in here, I went double and I was able to afford the apartment. So when you know what you want, you hustle and you work differently and you make it happen, okay? So that was another thing. And I pictured myself being double. I pictured myself having that $5,000 to $6,000 monthly income. I pictured myself being in this apartment and just affording life after going through chemo and living at my parents' house and just all of that nonsense, okay? So, and same with going triple. Triple was different because I've never made $10,000 a month. And so that didn't really make sense to me. Like I've made $5,000 a month. I've made $4,000, $3,000 a month. But it took a different kind of thing to sit there and be like, okay, now I'm going to vision myself like making $10,000 a month and going triple. And that like double to triple was like the hardest promotion, like mindset shift I've had to do. And you guys will go through that too, but whatever. Anyway, side note. Anyways, okay, so you have to start showing up as the income that you want. Okay, I know this is about distributors, but this all goes into signing distributors, okay? So you have to start showing up. Like ask yourself this past week, have you been working, if your goal is Diamond and $2,000 monthly. Have you been working like you deserve to make $2,000 monthly from home? If your goal is $5,000 and you want to go double, have you been working your business like you deserve to make $5,000 a month? Like a double diamond leader? Have you been showing up that way? Have you been showing up, if your goal is to make $10,000 a month, have you been showing up like you want to make $10,000 a month and you deserve that $10,000 a month, okay? Before you actually make that income, you have to show up like that. Before you go Ruby, you have to show up like a Ruby. Before you go Emerald, Diamond, double, triple, you have to show up like that rank. And yes, like you're doing more work in the beginning and your pay might be lower, but then you hit that pay and then you're doing work that's matching your pay and it's bomb as hell. Okay, so that sacrifice that you make in the beginning and all that extra hard work that you do for those smaller paychecks, I promise you, I do not regret a single day of hard work that I did when I made my first Ruby paycheck was like 100, 150 bucks. Okay, I do not regret that. I am not mad about that because now I am here and now I am triple and now I'm in a completely different place. Okay, so you have to put sacrifice in now to get what you want. Okay, it's going to be, you know, the next couple months of sacrificing time, sacrificing, you know, staying asleep, getting up earlier, going to sleep later, maybe not doing so much on the weekends, like things like that. Like you sacrifice now and you get this down to how you want it. You start slaying distributors, you start slaying customers, and then in a few months you have that amazing dream income and it is so worth it. Okay, so that's just a few things I wanted to kind of talk to you guys about before. And the next thing is belief. Like you have to believe in yourself. I wish sometimes that you guys would believe in yourself like the way that I believe in you and the way that I see you, because I feel like sometimes I see so much potential in you guys and it's like you don't see it in yourself. And I'm just like, dude, but you can do this. It's like just something's gonna click. It really is, and you're gonna get there. And so just believe in yourself. Like I said, you have to envision it and you have to believe that you can start to do it. Like you have to believe that you can start to sign those distributors, that you can go Ruby and do those things before they happen. So, you know, we're not playing small anymore. We're not caring about others' opinions. My new favorite saying that I have found that I want to share with you guys is you either want to care about what people think about you or you want to be rich, but you can't have both, okay? You either care about what people think about you or you want to be rich and you are going to be rich, but you can't have both, okay? So that goes with this. It took a leap of faith and like stepping out of your comfort zone to join the business. Then it's gonna take a leap of faith and like out of your comfort zone to start, you know, posting in a different way and like really truly being yourself and being authentic and being vulnerable. And then to go Ruby, to go Diamond, like every level takes a little bit more of like just stepping out of your comfort zone, okay? And so that's my favorite saying. If you either want to care about what others think of you or you want to be rich, but you can't have both. And that is like my motto right now. You know, you have to stop being lazy. You have to start doing if you want me to reread that quote, I will. I see that you're writing it down. You have to stop being lazy. You have to stop comparing. You have to stop thinking, okay, today kind of sucked. I didn't get all my tasks done, but tomorrow's a new day. Nope, get those tasks done because you create a habit doing that, okay? If you've been sitting in a habit of not getting your tasks done daily, or, you know, a power hour is on that you could hop on and you don't hop on it, you have to start being more disciplined in getting on those things. And so stop comparing. I know that everyone does this. I feel like as women, we naturally just compare ourselves to each other, but we are in all different walks of life, okay? Some of us are moms. Some of us already work from home. Some of us are not moms. Some of us have more times than the other, okay? But we all have the same 24 hours in a day. And so stop comparing yourself to other people. Don't compare yourself to maybe you see somebody killing it in the chat, doing all the booms, and then you start feeling some type of way. Like I said, like we're on different chapters of our business. We're in different walks of life, and there's room for everyone to have success. It's not like, okay, these people go Diamond, now there's no more room over here for these people. No, like there's room for everybody, okay? So celebrating someone else's success does not take anything away from you and your success that you will have and that you are going to have. Haley, do you have anything to add to that?
Yeah, so kind of going along with what you said about what you were saying earlier, forget about, like, if you've been in this business for a couple months and you haven't been a mass enroller, like, forget about that. Literally unprogram that from your brain. If you're not Ruby yet and you've been going for Ruby, like, just forget about it. Like, act like you haven't been going for Ruby this whole time and you're going for Ruby now. And just think about what you want now. Like, don't think about, oh, well, I've never signed 5 distributors before, so I can't do it this month. Make the decision that you're going to sign 5 distributors or whatever this month, and like tell yourself all day, every day, like literally say it out loud if you have to. Just keep saying it, and eventually you're going to literally believe it. And I know it's hard to just like flip the switch and be like, oh, I'm a mass enroller. Like, But if you tell yourself all day, every day, for days at a time, and you just keep telling yourself something, you're going to eventually believe it. And then it's just going to start happening, because it also goes along with manifesting. And this is boom season. You've probably heard 1,000 times over that it's boom season, but it's just really crazy. Like, I've seen literally just a flip of a switch with this whole team, like with the whole dream catchers, because like the last couple of months, it just kind of, everybody was just kind of walking, and then all of a sudden conference came, and now everybody's like running for the finish line. So like literally it's just everybody having belief and excitement and momentum, and the momentum is here, and there's no reason why you can't sign 10 DTs. There's no reason why you can't sign 30 customers this month. You literally just have to make the decision that you're going to do it, keep telling yourself you're going to do it, start believing it, and then it's going to happen. And then some other things that I want to say is I hear these things a lot when I'm working with my girls to promote. And for one is like, if you've never signed 5 distributors before, then, and like, let's say you signed 2 distributors last month, put in double the work this month, and then you're going to get double the results. So if you're not seeing the results that you want to see, put in more work. Like, don't just think, oh, I can't do it. It's probably because you're not putting in enough work. So just do more task producing activities, or hold on, result, what am I trying to say, what's the word, result producing activities.
We're both like result produce. That's right. Yeah.
Okay. And then the last thing is I've had a lot of people recently saying that they're waiting on 3 potential distributors to sign, or they have 5 potential distributors that they're waiting on. Like, that's nowhere near enough. If you want to sign 5 distributors, you need to have like at least 100 potential distributors this month. And your goal every day, whether you actually sign somebody or not, your goal should be to get like 10 new potential distributors a day at least. And you always want to have a running 100s list. So like, try to get 100 people like this week that are actually interested in the products or business, and like solid potentials, and keep growing your list every single day. Don't just count on a couple people that's going to sign, because it takes everybody a different amount of time to start. So you want to have as many potentials as you can at all times. And that's it.
Okay, cool. No, that's good. Thank you. Okay, so let's start talking about signing DTs, more of like the posting and all that good stuff. So first we're going to start with consistency, okay? Consistency. Ask yourself, are you consistently posting daily, whether that's on your Facebook or your Instagram, okay? Your posting needs to be 70% lifestyle, and then the other 30 needs to be a mix of the business and products. It shouldn't be that, you know, you've joined It Works and now you're just, all you post about is business and the products. Like, you don't want that. People connect to people. People can't connect to the business and the products. And yes, we say, okay, like, I don't want to confuse somebody, like how we're like, you know, you want to write a really good business post so it connects to people, but they have to connect to you first, okay? When people can connect to you because of what you're posting about your life, as in like you, your family, your hobbies, what you like to do, things that you think are funny, things like that, like anything positive that just like happens in your day-to-day life. When you post about that, people can connect to you. And the more that they start to connect to you and buy into you, then they start caring about what you have to offer, okay? Like when you go down, let me show you. When you go down my Facebook, like, I mean, first one's a business post, but like you see stuff, okay, post, but like life, that's life happening. This is my lifestyle posting, you know, that's Nicole, but like anything that doesn't have to do with the business, that is the stuff that's going to get people to be pulled into me and drawn into me, because they can connect to that and relate to that, or they're just interested in that. They're not just interested. Like, have you guys ever seen somebody on your social media join a business, whether it's It Works or anything else, and then suddenly they went from like not posting at all, or like just posting about life and just whatever they want to post about, to like suddenly only posting about their business and their products, and you're like, where did you go? Like, they turned into their business basically, okay? It Works as It Works. You are you. So 70% should be you, and the other 30% you're posting should be a mix of life or business and product, okay? So every day you should be posting about your life, or something funny that happens, things that your kids say, anything that goes on in your life that's like positive throughout your day. And then one post should be either about product or business, okay? It shouldn't be product, business, like all over your social media. So that is so important. And also you can't just expect to like, you know, post like once a week or every couple of days and have anyone pay attention to you, okay? You need to be on, we work on our social media. We want to show up daily. So that is why you are posting daily. And, you know, sometimes people come to me and they're like, hey, like I can't sign anyone, any distributors, like what's my problem? First thing I do is I go to their page, and it's like sometimes it'll be like they haven't posted a single post about the business this whole week. And I'm like, girl, like you think you're going to sign people, but you're not even, nobody knows what you have to offer because you're not talking about the business consistently. Like you have to talk about it more than once a week so that people can see it and people can consistently see it. And it can't just be like a once a week thing because that's not going to get anyone. Like, you know, think about if I was to be like, hey, I've got this super cool business opportunity and I post about it, and then I just don't post for like the next 2-3 days a week later, and people are just like, okay, cool, like she posted about something, but like where'd she go? Like I kind of just disappear and I'm just like not on social media or not talking to people about it anymore. Like that's not going to draw anyone into you at all. They're going to go to the girl who might be on their social media that's in it, works or in another business, and she's posting consistently and she's consistently showing up on her social media in their faces, like on their timeline, you know what I mean? Or their newsfeed. So you can't just talk about it once and then think that you're going to sign somebody. It's a consistent thing, okay? You have to think of your business or your social media like a store, okay? If you are not talking about the business or the product daily, like what you have to offer, then think of that as your store is closed, okay? And you obviously wouldn't make any money if you had like a retail store and you weren't even like open for a day. So think of it like that, okay? Haley, excitement seals the deal. Okay, so next thing is copying and pasting. Okay, no more copying and pasting. I know that we all just did the samples post, and that's fine. That was totally different. We all just made lots of money. Shout out to everyone who's selling samples this week. Like that, like instant cash is so nice. But when you see somebody post a post about the business, a business post, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. When you see somebody post a business post and then you go and you copy and you maybe only change like a thing or two, like one word or something about it, and you're like, cool, I switched it up. Like, don't do that. You can look at a business post and you can take, sorry, I feel like I'm getting sick. You can take, inspiration from it. Like, you know, oh, I like that Haley talked about that her business is paying for X, Y, and Z today. I'm going to make a post talking about my business. Oh my God, I can't speak. My business paying for X, Y, and Z. Or maybe, oh, I like that Haley talked about all these people's fears. And she's basically talking about how, like, you know, all the typical like fears that are doubts and fears and what is that word that I'm looking for when people say that objections. She's doing a post about objections. Like, cool, I'm going to make a post about objections. Like, take inspiration from it, but don't just copy and then paste it. Because think if you were, you know, sliding down or scrolling down your newsfeed and you see somebody post about the business and they say something, and then you scroll a couple more people and then suddenly that post comes up, but it's somebody else and it's like on their post and you're just like, what the hell, I just read this, like what? That gets annoying. That comes off very unauthentic, and that's not going to get you anywhere. Okay, so you have to make sure that you are taking inspiration from posts, but not just straight up copy and pasting a business post, because it just looks so silly, especially like if it was my post, for example, and you're someone who lives around the same area and we're going to have mutual friends, or if you live around Haley and you have mutual friends, like, so just make sure that you're not doing that and you're just taking inspiration from it, because you want your posting to be you want it to be in your own words, you want it to be genuine, and that's what's gonna help you. Okay, so next we're going to talk about, I'm about to wing it because Haley and I both thought we had an extra hour. Okay, so with business posting, you have to make sure that you're talking about the business from like all different angles, okay? Like you want to show the emotional side with like the why did you join, the story. You want to like pull on the heartstrings. You want to like relate to other moms like who don't get to be home with their babies, or you get to relate to somebody else that is going through like so much financial stress, and like you get to inspire those people. Okay, so there's an emotional side of posting, and then there is a confident side and like an excitement side, and then there is like a fun side. Okay, so you want to focus on like the emotional side of like telling your story or talking about, you know, what the business has done for you and like how much it means to you. But then you also want to talk about your confidence. Like, I'm going Ruby this month, I'm earning a $15,000 bonus next month. Like, you want to talk about that. Okay, when I was going not just when I was going diamond, but just to talk about for being the sake of like going diamond, I did not know how the hell I was going to earn that $10,000 bonus, did not know how I was going to go diamond, but I had a confidence behind myself, and I was just like, I'm doing it. Like I had to, like, there's no doubt in my mind that I was going to make it happen. And that kind of confidence will draw people in. So whatever you are working on right now, if you are going Ruby this month, talk about that. Let people in on your journey. Okay. It doesn't just, you don't just become diamond and like you're just making lots of money. Like you have a journey along the way, and don't think that you have to have some big success story behind you already, or you have to be like making thousands to attract anyone, or you have to be like paying off your car, doing these crazy things, cutting up your credit cards to be able to attract distributors. It's within the story. Okay. They want to go along in it with you. So, just talking about if you're promoting this month, like I feel like sometimes when you guys are having your promotion months, I don't even see you post about your promotions. I'm like, nobody even knows you're promoting. When it's my promotion month, I'm promoting. You know how many orders I'm away from it. You know how excited I am about it. You know what it's going to do for me and my girls. And I am updating you on this like every single day. And I'm about to go press, so you guys about to see that firsthand. So just take people in on your journey and let them know what you're doing. If you are working on being financially free, like post about that. I did that. I was posting about how I was going to pay off all of my credit card debt with this business. And then the day that I finally I took everyone along the journey. Anytime that I was actually, like say I got a $400 fast start bonus on 1 week, boom, that went onto my credit card, and I posted about that. And I talked about how that was paying off my debt. And I took people on my journey. I let them know how much I had. Like, dude, I've got $3,000 left and I'm paying this off next month. And once I did pay it off, I cut up the cards and made a post about it. And it's like people watched me make these goals, and then they watched me follow through and make them happen. So you can't just talk about your goals and then not back it up with action. You talk about your goals and then you take them on like along the journey with you, and you back it up with action, and you make sure that every little step is getting done. Okay. So don't just say, hey, I'm going to pay off my credit card debt, for example, and then 3 months, 6 months from now, hey, I paid off my credit card debt. Like, take them on the journey. Everyone knows what it's like to be in debt. Debt sucks. Or, if you're going to be like promoting, like every time that you send a distributor, just talk about how it's getting you closer to that promotion, getting you closer to that bonus. Talk about what it's going to do for you. The more that you can like have that excitement and that confidence, you're just going to reel other people in because they want to have that as well. And they're going to be watching you do that. And when they watch you hit those small milestones that reach to that big goal, then they're going to want to join you because they're going to be like, damn, this girl did it. I just watched her do all this. And like, now I'm inspired and I want to work with her too, because she doesn't just talk about it, like she's about it and she does it. Another thing, let me look at a file just because it's like off the top of my head. Haley, if you have anything to add, you can, but 1 second. Because I don't know how Katie just does trainings without looking at notes, because I'm very green and I have to have everything written down. Doesn't work for me like that. Okay, so other ways to talk about the business is also sharing other success. Okay, so when somebody in your downline gets their $150 product credit, now when they get their shopping spree, like shout that out. When someone in your sideline is promoting Ruby or going Emerald or going Diamond, like shout that out and talk about that. I do that all the time for people that are promoting like that aren't even in my downline, because it shows that you're not only loving this and that you're not only working this and making money, but people on your team that you work with and that in this business are also doing the same thing, which is going to give them confidence to join you, because your team is doing the damn thing and your team is promoting and your team is like reaching all these incredible things and amazing goals. So like, Jamie can shout out Megan, Megan can shout out Jonna, like Tina can shout out Jonna, like all these different things. Don't feel like just because you're not specifically in the same team and you're like sideline sisters that you can't talk about each other, because you can. And that just adds like, maybe, let's see, I don't know. Who in here isn't a mom? Like maybe, no, Stacy's not a mom. Like maybe I share Stacy's story of how like, she's under 20, she's not a mom, she's going to school, and I kind of share her story. I relate to moms on all of my stories that I share about myself, but by me sharing somebody else like who's in a different walk of life than I am, that's going to relate to all the 20-year-olds on my page now, that if I share about Stacy's story and I shout her out for like all the incredible things that she's doing and like how the business is like changing her life, that's going to then in return, speak to the people on my newsfeed and on my Facebook or Instagram that aren't moms like me and who maybe are college students, or maybe they're working a waitress job or 2 to 3 different jobs, and maybe they just want that extra income and that time freedom. So sharing somebody else's story is so powerful because it shows that, people coming from different backgrounds and different careers or different stages of life can do this. So that's another important thing to do also. And then, you want to talk about when we get paid. So I love talking on the 8th. I love to talk about how we saw a preview of our commissions. And I like to, if I got a raise, I talk about how much of a raise I gave myself. I like to talk about when we get paid on the 14th. I like to talk about when I get my fast starts. Okay, you could talk about friendship, fun, freedom, and your story, but then getting that actual money, people want to know that you're actually making money. Same thing with shouting or making a post every single time that you send a customer. Those things might seem small, but they matter because people are seeing that you're actually getting customers and that it's an actual real business and that you're actually having success. And that's so important for them because then they're going to get, they're going to have confidence in you with being able to teach them how to do the same thing. Is this making sense to anybody? It's very off the top of my head. Okay. Another thing is you want to talk about what the business is paying for. Like I said, if you've got credit card debt, I started with $12,000 in credit card debt. It was so much fun paying off. But if you've got debt, you want to talk about it paying for that. Or, if you want to, you talk about the small things. Okay, like I said, people don't relate to making $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 plus monthly. They relate to the smaller things. They don't relate to buying a brand new car and paying it off in 6 months. They relate to being able to pay for their rent and not have a late notice. They relate to, everyone can relate to the feeling of pushing around your bills all month long. I love posting about that now because I don't do that anymore, but I know that so many people deal with that I love to talk about how I get to pay my bills on the 1st of every month, very carefree, and not to brag, but because I make sure that I talk about how I used to feel about living paycheck to paycheck and pushing my, bills around. People can relate to, paying for their phone bill on time or buying gas, groceries, things that their babies need, or, our kids grow out of their clothes every 3 months and you have to go spend another $200, $300 on leggings, jeans, shirts, and all that good stuff just because they're constantly growing. So people relate to that kind of stuff. So when you're showing that the business is paying for that stuff for you and your family, other people are going to be like, wow, I'm having such a hard time paying for these things. If I could make extra income like this girl does, and if I can do this from home, that's going to help my family out so much. Okay, so those small things are so important and nothing's too small. Okay. Let's see. Another thing is, that's really kind of all you need to be talking about. It's just being consistent. It's having confidence, talking about your goals and taking people along the journey, and just kind of showing up for your business every day. Does that make sense to you guys? Did that speak to anybody? And does anyone have any questions? Because I feel like that's really all there is to it. Whose iPhone? Who just said, yes, I love it? It's either Christy or Caitlin. Makes sense. Christy. Okay, cool. Do you guys want to do, we've got 15 minutes. I'm going to stop this.